No, it is not required.
Okay, that's my question.
But please check with an airline also, because in India market there is only a British Airways who's taking that queue surcharge as of now. So it is not required to add um, the penalty amount in the base fare. Now the reason is very simple. Uh, because in case if you're going to cancel this and you're getting to get the refund amount, so you need to have reduced the penalty amount from the base fare, correct? Because that is non-refundable. And how will you reduce the refund amount from that penalty from the base fare? Where do you show this that I'm going to reduce that part? Understood?
Yes, got it, sir. Thank you so much for the clarification.
Hmm. So that is the reason we do not need to show it in the base fare. And Sonali,
Yes, Naveen.
uh, anything that you want to add related to
No,
the?
you have perfectly answered it. There's
Okay,
nothing from my end. Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
Thank you so very much. Anything else that anyone have any question? Anything else? Waiting for the questions, guys. If you have, please type yes or no. If no, then please type no. No question. All right. So now let's begin the session from yesterday's topic that we have covered, and from that point we're going to start. So we have covered till yesterday that how do we reissue any a PNR where the airline is informing to add the penalty as a EMD method. Okay. Until yesterday, we have calculated the base fare. We have already added the missing elements of the fare and everything. Yes or no? All right. Um, 1 second. Let me check. Have I added this one? Have I saved everything in the PNR? Good morning. Good morning. Let me pull out that PNR. Give me 1 second. Let me find out that PNR. Hmm. Here is the PNR. All right. Now, till this part, we have already updated the TST, updated with the missing elements. We have already checked and we have calculated the base fare. There is no base fare difference. There are no taxes difference. So everything is showing nil. Yes or no? All right. Mm. 1 second. Let me have water. Okay. Now, uh, here, till yesterday, we have also discussed about that how do we show and how do we show the total ad collect amount. So remember there were, is there any total ad collect? We have calculated the difference in fares, difference in taxes. So do we have see any difference in fares and taxes? Do we have? Tell me from the yesterday's topic. Let me show you that calculations also here. This is the calculation. So here, this was on my new fare for 6th of August and 25th of August. Here is the new fare. And this was my ticketed fare, which was for 6th of August and 26th of August. Clear? So do you see the base fare difference? Yes, no? Now, do you see the taxes difference? YQ, IN, K3, P2, and the LK tax? You can just verify this. So that means there is nil difference in base fare and the taxes. Okay. So while updating the total ad collect in the TST, we will only show the difference in fares and the taxes. Okay. Now, the next thing is about that, okay, what if there is a penalty amount, and the penalty amount which we have calculated is 1600 rupees, and there is a 5% of GST on the 1600 rupees, that becomes 1680. So now that's the total amount of the penalty. So what do we do with that penalty amount? Do we show the penalty amount in the total ad collect? The answer would be no. Why? Because the change fee is to be shown not in the TST. There is a separate document to be issued for the change penalty, which is EMD. Is that clear? Now, from the last two examples, we were showing the penalty amount in the TST. So can anyone tell me why are we showing the penalty amount as a total ad collect in the TST? Can anyone just give me an idea? Yes, why do we show that PINR in the previous two examples where there were a penalty amount to be collected as a tax code or as a Q surcharge? The allowing you to show the penalty as a tax code. So the tax code will always be shown in the TST. There was a two-letter tax code. We update in in the TST. Then about the Q surcharge, there we have to update the penalty amount into the NUC, and that NUC to be updated in the fare linear. But the airline who allows and who said to update the penalty and to show the penalty as an EMD, so we do not need to show the total penalty amount in the ADC. Is that clear with everyone? And that is why we kept the total and the grand total zero, because there is no base fare difference, there is no tax difference. And here I have already written the same line. If you notice here, show the total ad collect in you to take the penalty as in as an EMD. Is that clear with everyone? Is that clear? Please reply. Okay. Now the next thing. Since we have already updated this one, now we are going to show the penalty as an EMD. Okay. We have already calculated the penalty amount and everything. Now, to show the penalty as an EMD, we need to first of all check the four-letter code of the change fee, and what is the method of penalty amount. How do we show the booking method of that penalty? Okay, so all of this will be find out with the command EGSD/B and the airline code. Okay, now the next thing is about that since the airline penalty is categorized under the financial impact services. So remember, there was an A category, that's a RFIC code as an A, RFIC code as in C. So there is an RFIC code as D. And all of those services which has a reason for issuing this EMD is as D, as in grouped under D, they all are called as an financial impact services. Okay, and how will I find out that one? The command to display the only financial impact reason for issuing EMD is EGSD and the airline code followed by the only RFIC-D. There you will see the only list of the EMD services which are financially impact services, which are related with the financial impact service. And there is a penalty fee which is given. There is also a depot fee, that means a deposit amount, group deposit amount. Okay, so there is a group PNR and you have to raise a group deposit amount to the airline. So you have to raise an EMD for that. Is that clear? So that we have already discussed. What is the four-letter code for the penalty fee? The four-letter code is PENF. Okay? Yes, no? Am I audible to everyone? All right. Now, the next thing. The next thing is about that how do we add the four-letter code and the booking method is of SVC. So if the booking method is SVC, so we have to add an SVC element in the PNR. Okay. So let me close this screen and I'm going to just show you that the booking method is SVC. So we have to add an SVC miller. If the booking method is SSR, then what we do? Tell me. If any EMD service, the booking method is SSR. Now tell me what I should do. We will have to add an SSR line. And how do we add an SSR line? Tell me what is the command to add any SSR line? Absolutely correct. SR, the four-letter code of the special service request. Like if it is a AVML, so we add the meal request. If it is an SPML, so that's a special meal to be given, followed by the that request information. So similarly, if the booking method is SVC, so we will have to add an SVC line. Yes or no? And how do we add the SVC line? What is the command? IU is the command to add SVC line, followed by, because this is only a command which will add the SVC line, but for which airline that you wanted to add an SVC line? So that is Sri Lankan Airlines. If there is another airline you have to add, so you have to type that particular airline, followed by the NN1. So NN1 stands that need one service for one passenger. So this suggests and this shows that this SVC line is going to be added for one of the passenger. Clear? Followed by the four-letter code of that EMD service. Clear? Is that clear? So that we have already added in the PNR. If you can see here, the SVC line is added. But I'm just going to give you a quick recap of that topic that we have discussed. And once you enter this command, you might receive any one of the three of errors. Now, why did you get these three of the errors? Because we have not followed the entire information about this particular EMD service. So for every individual EMD services, there is a special and the specific way to write down the SVC line, or to enter that SVC line. And how do I find out that those specific information? So here, this is my list of the EMD services. And if I wanted to go and read the information about a specific PENF penalty EMD service, so I will type EGSD slash line number 2. And this will show me the amount. That means if you are going to add, and if you are going to add the SVC line, what all information to be added at in one go, so that you might not receive the error city code mandatory, the error invalid missing location, or invalid or missing date. So here you will see that part. Let me do MD, and there you will see that, okay, if you have to add the SVC line, you have to add the date of service mandatory for the booking and the number of locations mandatory. And now how many number of locations to be mandatory? Two locations. That means it is not going to add only one of the city pair. You have to add both the city pairs. That means, sorry, you have to add a city pair, the origin and the destination. Now you might ask me a question, which of the origin and destination? So the segment which you are changing. So we are changing Colombo to Delhi. So that's why we add the Colombo to Delhi as an um, location. And we have to add the new date which we are going to change, and for which the EMD service is going to be raised. समझ में आया? So से जो date आप change कर रहे हैं, उसी date को आपको डाल as a number of date of service में हमें use करना है, and as a number of locations के time पे you have to enter those locations जिस के आप date को change कर रहे हो. Clear? Yes, no? Great. The next thing that we have already added in the PNR. Till this part we have added. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about that what if there are multiple passengers and I wanted to add the SVC line. So as you know that if there are multiple passengers, so the penalty will be applicable as per the per passenger. Yes or no? So how do you add the SVC line for the different passengers? So you only have to add slash P1, P2, and P3 as per the number of passengers. Is it clear? Okay. Now the step number 3. And that step number 3 is to show a TSM number. So what is this TSM? So do you see anywhere in the on the PNR there will be a flag generated on the here related to TSM? So TSM is mandatory to add the information about the EMD, like how much is the penalty amount, how much is the taxes amount, rest of the every information related to the EMD, that will be written in the TSM line, correct? So just like the TST. So what happened once we create a TST? If you, I'm just going to recall one thing. Remember, we while doing a manual TST, we have first of all created a TST. And what was the command that we used to create a TST? Manually. What was the command? Anyone have remembered? TTC. Remember? Yes, no? So similarly, we have to create a blank TSM. And to create a blank TSM, we have to run the command TMC. TMC. So this command will create a blank TSM followed by the airline code. Because for which airline you wanted to create a blank TSM? So I wanted to create a blank TSM for the airline Sri Lankan Airlines. So that you have to mention. Now, apart from that, there is one more line mentioned that is called L3. So this is optional. Okay, why it is optional? I'm going to tell you. Now, if there are multiple SVC lines created, then you have to mention the line numbers. But if there is a single SVC line, because on the SVC line, we create a TSM, correct? So if there are multiple SVC lines, then we use slash L1, L2, and L3. But if there is a single SVC line, we do not need to mention the line numbers. And whose line numbers? The SVC line numbers. Do not add, mention the segment line numbers. Is it clear? So here there is only a single SVC line number. So I simply put down this TMC slash VUL and then a blank TSM cell gets created. Now, since this TSM is created manually, so you will not see the TSM indicator as 00. Now it will show you 11. 11s mean that this is a manual TSM. Is it clear? Otherwise, if the TSM is created through automatically, like with fxh and fxg command, it shows 00. Is this clear? Okay. Now here you will see this is the TSM number, type P, pricing pricing record. Here is the office ID, name, my date of EMD, and the carrier is UL, Sri Lankan Airlines. Name of the passenger, and what is the reason for issuing this EMD that is related with D, and which is a financial impact service. And what is the subcode for this EMD service? 98F. And if I show you, the same was mentioned in the fare rules also, that I have copied from the fare rules. Okay, is that clear? And what type of EMD service? This is a penalty fee. Who is the operating carrier? Sri Lankan Airlines. And at which line number this EMD service is? At line number 3. So if you can see, here is the line number 3, SVC line. Clear? Is it refundable or non-refundable? Non-refundable, non-exchangeable, and non-interlineable. And the last line is very, very important, which is for consumed at issuance. What does it mean by consumed at issuance? It simply means that the moment you issue this EMD service, that will be consumed and it will not be reused for the second time. For the second time, if there will be a uh, um, if it will be a reissuance, then you have to add it again. Okay. Next, the next information is we have to go and add perform the step number 4. And the step number 4 is telling you add the change fee in the TSM either as a coupon value or as a fare ladder value. That means whatever the pay change penalty is showing you here, that we need to show as a coupon value or as a fare ladder. Okay. So what does it mean? It means that either we have to add in either one of the way. So how do I get to know that we have to add the penalty amount as a coupon value or as a fare ladder? That will be also given in the TSM in the TSM explanation. See, do you see here on the top there is a line called mono coupon EMD. So whenever you read that particular EMD service and you saw there is a mono coupon EMD, yes, it always means that the penalty to be added as a coupon value. Is that clear? And the same thing I have mentioned. To see whether add penalty as a coupon value or as a fair ladder, we need to check this line. And whenever there is a mono coupon EMD, yes, we will perform this command. And this means that we are going to add the penalty amount as a coupon value. Is this clear? So how do I add this the penalty amount as a coupon value? Let me show you that command. TMI is the command to add anything in the TSM slash M1 is the TSM number slash, and then we will add the value CV. CV stands as a coupon value hyphen the amount. Remember, here you do not add the GST amount. Here you have to only show you the penalty amount. Okay. Mono coupon thing. See, here I have already opened the explanation of this penalty EMD service. Okay, Akansha? The moment I open, here you will see on the top, there is a line called booking method SVC. So we get to know that this is an SVC booking method. So that's why we have added the SVC line. Now in the next line, it is saying mono coupon EMD. So if you are going to add any financial impact service and it is showing you that mono coupon EMD is yes, it means you have to show the penalty amount. Since we are discussing about the only penalty amount, so it means that we have to show the penalty as an coupon value. And how do I show the coupon penalty amount as a coupon value? With the command CV hyphen the only penalty amount. Okay, is it clear, Ms. Gupta? Kancha? Okay. So here, that's why I have added the CVN 1600. Now, I have to show the rest of the commands. What are the rest of the commands? I have to show the penalty amount as an base fare and the GST amount on the penalty as an tax amount. And how do I show this? Here is the command. FINR, because this is my base fare. This shows as an base fare value slash X. And how much is the GST amount? 80K3. And this is how, if I press enter, you will see that the penalty amount is now showing as in coupon value followed by the base fare, the total value of the penalty followed by the K3. That means the GST. Clear? Yes, no? Is it clear? Anyone have any question? Tell me, Tanvir, what I should repeat.
Hello, I'm audible. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Yes.
Naveen,
Hmm. Tell me.
I just want to know from the beginning to
Uh-huh.
create a manual EMD once again from TMC, if possible.
Uh,
Manual EMD.
okay.
Thank you.
No, may I know because you as yesterday have you
No,
missed
no,
the
no. I
session?
was there. I just want to know once again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait, let me retrieve another PNR then. I'll go with a very speed up manner because then we have to cover a lot of topics. So please focus here, Tanveer. All right. Let me retrieve a PNR here. I will simply show you the steps. So this is a PNR. Clear? Now, if you have to add a manual EMD for the penalty amount, you have to perform further steps. Now, what are the further steps? The step number one is to find out the booking. That means for the change fee, what is the four-letter code and what is the booking method? How did you find out? Tell me. With the help of a command EGSD followed by the airline code, and you will get the four-letter code of the change fee. Yes, no? So let me divide this screen and type this command. Here I will get to know about the list of the EMD service. Now tell me, what is the four-letter code of the change fee and at what line number, Tanveer? Line number 15. Got it? Now what is the booking method for this change fee? Look at this booking method. And now tell me SVC. So we got to know about the things. Now we need to go and start with adding the SVC line in the PNR, because without the SVC line, you will not be able to create the TSM. How do we add the SVC line? With the command IU. So let me add the in the SVC line IU followed by the two-letter code, which is UL, followed by the number of services to be taken, NN1, followed by the four-letter code. So we know that this is a four-letter code. Clear, Tanveer, till here? Press enter. The moment I press enter, I got a warning error that invalid or a missing date, which means there is a missing date to be mandatory. How do I find out whether all the codes will not get missed? With the help of a command EGSD slash line number 15. There I will be able to read all the information on the list of the EMD service, where I will be able to see that, okay, for this EMD service, date of service mandatory. Tanvi, did you see? So that means we have to add the date of service. There is another thing mentioned, the number of locations mandatory. And how many locations to be mandatory? 2 locations. That means we have to add the city pair. We cannot add one of the cities. Is that clear? If you notice, here is showing 1. It means you can add one of the city name in the SVC line. Is that clear, Tanveer? So now what I'll do, I'll simply rerun the command, put a slash and enter the travel date. So whichever the travel date is changing, that means I am changing the travel date for 25th of August, either I'm changing the 6th of August. That means the new travel date. So I will mention here the 6th August here. Clear? Now we need to add the city pairs as well. So there are 2 city pairs required. So I will simply copy Delhi's AMB and I will paste here. Now clear, Tanveer? That's it. And now we are going to add the penalty amount as a coupon value. So we know, we have already read in this here in the list of the EMD service that the mono coupon EMD is yes, which means we have to add the penalty as an coupon value. And how do we add the mono coupon penalty amount as a coupon value? With the key word CV hyphen the penalty amount. Okay, Tanveer? That's it. and then you show the penalty as an base fare and the taxes, because there is a penalty amount and there is a taxes amount. So we show the breakdown of the penalty and the GST applicable on the penalty. Clear, Tanveer? Now we have done the same thing. Now I'm coming to my original PNR. Okay. Now let me save every changes what we have done. And we have already saved the information in the TSM. Now, do you see the TSM here, Tanveer? And if I wanted to display the TSM, tell me the command to display the TSM. Which command I will perform here to display the TSM? Tanveer. Okay. So EWD is to display the EMD record. All right. So here we have not issued the EMD yet. So my question is, how do you display the TST? Tell me, Tanveer and rest of the people. How do you display the TST? So similarly, how do you display the TSM? Devendra, TTM is the command to issue the EMD. I'm not asking you to issue the EMD. So TQM is the command to display the TSM. I displayed the TSM. Here we have already added the penalty amount as a coupon value. Here we have already shown the breakup of the penalty and the GST applicable on the penalty, and you will see the total amount. Yes or no? All right. Now let's go and talk about the next thing. What if the in the EMD service it was showing you mono coupon EMD no? There is a very less chance of any airline which is telling you to show the mono coupon EMD no. But if there will be a chance and if the airline says that the penalty amount to be shown as a mono coupon EMD no, now what we need to do? Then we need to show the penalty amount as an fare line or as an fare construction line. How do you show that the amount in the fare construction line? With the help of command TMI slash M1, the same for the TSM number. FC is the fare construction line. And I will simply put down Delhi, Colombo, and Delhi because this is a round trip journey and the penalty is going to be calculated only once for this Colombo, Delhi. So I'm mentioning here the 1600 rupees as an INR and the total penalty amount is 1600. So that's why I mentioned here 1600. And now this fare construction line is going to be N. So this is how you will show the penalty amount as an fare construction line if it is mono coupon EMD no. Is that clear with everyone? All right. Now, once you've shown this penalty amount as fare construction line, then don't forget to show the breakdown also, because on the top of the penalty, there is a GST applicable. And that's why we have to show that this is a penalty, this is a GST tax. And you have to show with this with the command TMI M1F INR and the amount. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes, no, tell me. Anyone? Tanveer, any question? Okay, now we are done with the step number 4. Now we are going to do with the step number 5. And that step number 5 is to add the form of payment. So how do we add the form of payment in the TSM? Tell me. How do I add the form of payment in the TSM? That we have done yesterday also with the two examples. Tell me the command. Dev fp-cache is not the complete command to add the form of payment. And Tanveer, the TMI will not only add the form of payment. I wanted the complete command to add the form of payment in the TSM. Devendra, why are we going to show the old form of payment? Devendra, tell me. Am I going to reissue the EMD? Please correct your notes. TMI/M1, absolutely correct, Sajesh, Abhijit, Dev, Nishani, /FP-cache. Now, instead of cash, if I have to add the form of payment as credit card, I'll type CC followed by the two-letter credit card, 16-digit credit card number, CC number, slash the expiration date. Whose expiration date? The credit card expiration date. Clear? Enter. So I added the form of payment as a cash. Now let's go and talk about the step number 6. And this step number 6 is sometimes mandatory and some of the times optional. Now, when it will become a mandatory and when it will become optional, now you need to learn it about. So everybody, please focus here. Everybody, please focus. Okay. Now, the step number 6 will be mandatory once the PNR is reissued. So now tell me, for my example, is my PNR reissued? Yes or no? Is my PNR reissued? Dave said yes. Okay, Nishani said yes. Now, how do I confirm that my PNR is reissued? Tell me, how do I confirm? Can anyone tell me? How do I confirm whether my PNR is reissued or not? Absolutely correct, Tanveer. Now you all of Tanveer is only answering the correct way. Because rest of the people F2R, if I show you the TQT here, now it is showing you R. So that means the ticket is reissued. So Devendra is telling do TTH. Why do we go and see the history? There is a simple way to find out. Go and open the ticket image. There, if you see the new travel date, which is 25th of August, is it showing 25th of August in the e-ticket record? That's the only way to check whether my PNR is reissued or not. Tell me, is it showing 25th of August in the e-ticket record? So is my PNR reissued? Devendra, is my PNR reissued? Devendra, you said yes. Tell me, is my PNR reissued? Devendra. Then, so if the PNR is not reissued, the step number 6 is not mandatory. All right. Now, what is the step number 6? Now that we need to understand it, because we understood that this step is not mandatory if the PNR is not reissued. But what is that step? So if you have remembered in the previous examples, once we are doing EMD issuance, associated EMD, did you notice there was a line showing in the EMD ICW followed by the ticket number? Have you noticed that line? Yes or no? So what does this ICW call? Issued in connection with. Okay, so since this is a EMD service related for changing the new travel date, clear? So there is no new travel there is no new ticket number issued, correct? So if the new ticket is not issued, so then the system does not ask you to add the ticket number in the PNR. So that's why it is mentioned here. Let's go and read about it. That the mandatory when the ticket is already reissued and issued in connection with the command to be performed. So is there any new ticket number do you see here? No. So this is not mandatory. However, if you wanted to add the original ticket number in the TSM, so how do you add? Let me show you this. Here you will see the line number. How do you add? TMI slash M1 slash IC. This is the command. Hyphen the TKT and the 13-digit ticket number. So let me copy the 13-digit ticket number, the original ticket number, and remove this hyphen. Since the new ticket number is not issued, so I can add the original ticket number to show this ICW line here, issued in connection with. Now, do you see this message gets updated? Yes or no? And the moment you issue the new ticket number, the new ticket number gets automatically populated here. Okay, that I will show you also. So let me save everything in the PNR. Now, is my PNR ready for reissuance? Because I have added the ICW, that's the step number 6 is done. Now let's go and add the step number 7. These are completely optional. So if you wanted to add the optional elements, present to airline, present at airport, and the coupon remarks, that can also be added. Now how? Let me open the TSM. If you wanted to mention the EMD is issued with to which airline? So the EMD is issued with Sri Lankan Airlines. So you can simply type the same command TMI slash M1 and use the keyword D to show the EMD is issued and EMD is presented to the airline name Sri Lankan Airlines. If it is a different airline, you can type the another airline. This is how it will show as an present to. Now, if you wanted to enter the present at airport, like the TMI slash M1 slash, and to which airport that you are this EMD is going to be presented. So from Delhi. So I type A Del. So this is how you will see present at Dell. And last line is a coupon remarks. So if you wanted to add TMI slash M1 slash CR, which is called as an coupon remarks followed by rebooking fee. So I simply add a remarks that, okay, why this EMD service is issued. So this is a simple remarks that this is a rebooking fee. Done. That's called service remarks. Remember, once we issue automatic TSM, the present to, present at, service remarks, everything gets auto-populated. Yes or no? But since this is a manual EMD, so either you can add or either if you wanted to leave, you can leave it. So this is completely optional. It is up to you. You wanted to add it or you don't wanted to add it. Clear? There is one more optional elements. Add FE line, that is endorsement line for that TSM. Clear? Yes, no? Is it clear? Now, let's back to the original steps. Now, what is that original steps? The original steps is about how do we add the form of payment for the TST. So tell me, is my form of payment required to update for my scenario? Do we need to update the form of payment? Yes, no? Look at the scenario. There is nil everything. Abhijit said yes. Tell me how many of you agree that I need to update the form of payment here? For this scenario I'm talking about. How many of you agree? Raise your hands through digital reaction. There are 20 people. So two people have said no, not required. What about rest 18 people? Abdul, Abhijit, Akanksha, Aritara. No change itinerary. Gyandeep said no. Akanksha said no, not required. Understood? All right. So let's go and talk about the next step, because this step is going to be completely skippable for my scenario. But if there will be your scenario where there is an ad collect, then you simply have to change the form of payment accordingly. Next is about commission. Now tell me, do we need to change the commission for this scenario? Or do we need to leave this commission as it is? Leave as it is. Again, look at this part. Here I have mentioned that for nil ADC or for only penalty, the commission should be always zero, because the penalty is always non-commissionable. So then if there is no base fare and the tax difference, then we have to change the commission. Understood? So we have to delete. So आप कंफ्यूजन ये बार बार क्यों हो रहा है, मतलब मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा हूं. जब ये सिंपल लाइन है कि भाई आपका पेनल्टी होगा तो आपको नहीं, सिर्फ पेनल्टी होगी तो आपको कमीशन चेंज करना ही होगा. आपका कमीशन तभी एज इट इज रहेगा जब आपका बेस फेयर या टैक्स डिफरेंस होगा. ओके. FM 0. Now we need to go in step number 14. Now step number 14, FO element. So let's add the FO element. Now tell me, how do I add the FO element? Tell me the complete command to add of FO element. Quickly. Absolutely incorrect. Those all of you are trying giving the answer FO star slash or FO star L8. They all are wrong. They all are giving a wrong answer. Think once more what I have said related for the FO line. Now, Sajesh, absolutely correct. Why all are you forgetting to associate the passenger number FO star L8 slash P1? Now you will get a long command. You don't have to done. So association of FO line element done. Save the PNR. Done. Now, the next step. The next step is to reissue the e-ticket with EMD, because now I wanted to reissue the ticket and issue the EMD together. I don't want to do it separately. So how do I do this, both the things together? Then you will do TTP/TTM. This command is to issue the EMD. This command is to reissue the ticket slash TKT. Let's first of all pre-validate it. Done. It gives me a message. OK to e-ticket slash EMD, which means everything is fine. No problem. Let's remove everything, the TKT, and type RT. And now my PNR is reissued, followed by the EMD issuance. Now see, the OK to e-ticket and EMD. Now let me do RT. Now tell me, how many FA lines and FB lines issue generated? That means how many FA and FB? 2 FA, 2 FB, correct? The first FA, which is at line number 8, is for electronic ticket, and the line number 8 is for the EMD. Okay. Now, if I ask you a question, I wanted to see the EMD image. How do I display the EMD image? Tell me the command to display the EMD image. Again, Aritara, I did not ask you to display the image. That's a very different question. TQM always display you the TSM. And if you wanted to display the EMD, you always have to use EWD and the line number. EWD slash the line number. So what is the line number for the EMD? Line number 9. Enter. And here you will see a EMD number. Yes or no? And did you notice this EMD service or this EMD is issued in connection with this ticket number or with this e-ticket? Did you notice here? And if you remember, I have not entered the new ticket number. The system automatically picks this new ticket number. If I scroll up and show you 5458952652, the similar 652. Is this clear? So that is why if you are going to issue the EMD separately, then do not forget to mention the new ticket number TMI/M1/IC-TKT and the new ticket number. But if you wanted to issue the ticket, that means if you wanted to reissue the PNR and EMD together, then you can skip that command and the system will automatically enter this ICW line. However, if you wanted to add it, the original ticket number, you can add it, but it is optional. It is nothing mandatory. Is this clear with everyone? Yes, no? Now, any question from any one of you? So let me paste the steps in your chat box. All of you can copy these steps, and then we will move ahead with the next topic. Gyandeep, this EMD page, can you repeat again that component using the command EWD? What I need to repeat command, tell me. The entire component.
Hi.
Mm-hmm,
So after using this EWD command,
mm-hmm,
this
mm-hmm.
page actually I'm not able to understand actually. Could you please tell me?
Sure, I'll just show it to you. No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you.
Now, this is an EMD number. Okay. Yes, no. That's the international FCPI indicator as a manual EMD, point of issuance, date of issuance, IATA of issuance. This is the name of the passenger. This is the reason for issuing. Here you will see the EMD has also the coupon, status coupons. So this is a coupon number one because there is a single EMD. That's the reason it's a coupon number one for the reason. This is for Colombo, Delhi. This is the SAC number issued. Value is given that how much is the value. Description about that we have added. Present to, consumed at issuance, rest of the information. Issued in connection with. Here you will see the base fare value and the GST on the base fare and the total one. And here you will see the form of payment as a cash.
Okay,
Now,
thank you.
Gyandeep,
Yeah, understood, sir. Thank you so much.
now is it noted by everyone? Please let me know. If noted, then we go with the new next topic. Quickly, noted. All right. Now we are going to start with our next and the new topic, which is ATC, automated ticket changer. Okay. So can we start? Everybody has noted. Are all of you ready to learn about a new topic, ATC? Type in the chat, yes, no. All right. So let's understand ATC. So since yesterday or day before yesterday also, we were learning so many examples of the reissuance. Yes or no? And as you know, there are so many types of steps to be followed. There are so many checks to be followed. This should not be done. This should not be done. This should be removed. PC flag to be removed. N number of things to be done. Yes, no? And then based on that, your PNR gets reissued. Correct? But the Amadeus has an another functionality, and that functionality is called as an Amadeus ticket changer functionality. And this functionality is an automated ticket changer. That means it will automatically change your travel date and it will reissue your tickets also. Okay, is that clear? So what happens with this ATC? It helps you to calculate the ad collect and auto update the TSA, TST and the TSM. That means if there is a TST required, so that the TST will be created. If there will be a TSM required, that means EMD service is required, the EMD will be automatically generated. So there will be everything automatically. You don't need to create it manually. All right, is that clear? But before going to start using the ATC, you have to understand some of the important points. Now, what are the important points? First of all, it should be activated. So you need to check whether the ATC functionality is activated in your Office ID or not. How did you check it? Get in touch with your account manager. They will let you know. Or you can contact our help desk team. They will let you know that whether the ATC functionality is activated in your Office ID or not. Clear? The second thing, which is very important, that airline should participate in the ATC reissue. So for an example, I have opened an example. Let's take an example, this PNR. Okay, I got this PNR from the passenger and looking to change the PNR. That means there is a change request. How do I go and reissue the PNR with the ATC functionality? So first of all, I will check whether my Office ID has an ATC functionality activated or not. The second thing, I will check whether this airline is participating in the ATC functionality, ATC reissue functionality or not. How do I check? With the help of command fqn atc/cxr. Yes or no? Is this clear? So what I'll do, I'll simply type this command, press enter, and there I will see whether the ATC is activated for, that means ATC reissue is applicable for this KQ airline or not. Now tell me, do you see the KQ airline is there under the ATC reissue? Amadeus ticket changer content deployment for that airlines. Do you see the KQ airline? Last third line, second airline. Do you see? Yes, no? Is it clear? So that I checked. Next, the airline should have filed the rules in the VC paragraph. Now, this is something new. So tell me, from the previous examples, so from the day before yesterday, we all were trying to read the penalty in the penalty paragraph. Yes or no? So कितनी चार्ज है हमारी डेट चेंज की पेनल्टी, हम कहाँ रीड करते हैं? पेनल्टी पैराग्राफ में. Yes or no? All right. So please reply at least if you understand or not. So हम ज्ञानदीप फेयर कोट नोट तो आपको कहीं भी मिलेगा. ठीक है? फेयर कोट नोट मींस ऑल द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस आर मेंशन्ड. Now, in the rules and the regulations, there is a penalty paragraph. जो हम penalty paragraph कैसे read करते हैं? Star PE करके. All right. Now, the next thing that first of all the airline should participate in the ATC functionality. So whenever the airline is participating in the ATC functionality, so the airline will have to file the penalty, all the rules of the penalty, the fair rules of the penalty should be filed in two different categories. Now, what are the two different categories? The airline will file the penalty in the PE category, yani PE paragraph mein. The next thing, they will file the penalty in the voluntary paragraph also. Voluntary change. And that is called as VC paragraph. VC category. Got my point? Yes, no? All right. So whenever there will be a airline which is participating in the ATC, they will have to file the fare rules in the penalty, because if someone wants to do the manual reissuance, they will go and read the penalty paragraph. And if someone wants to do the automated ticket changer, that means they wanted to use ATC functionality, then the penalty will be must have been categorized in the VC category. Clear? Yes, no? There is a note which is very much important to be read. Now, what is that? That it if what if the rules are not filed by the airline in the VC category, then what happens? Because there might be a possibility that airline is participating in the ATC, but that airline has not filed the rules in the VC category. Then the system will check the rules from the PE category. So if that VC is not there, that means the fair rules is not filed in the VC category, then the system will go and check the PE category. And the reissue will not be guaranteed. समझ में आया? अगर ये VC कैटेगरी में होगा तो वो जो एक रीइशू होगा वो गारंटी होगा Amadeus के थ्रू. बट अगर वो PE में अगर कैटेगराइज्ड है, that will not be a guaranteed reissue. Clear? Is that clear? Yes, no? Okay. Now, the next important point, that it can be done for multiple changes for the multiple passengers. Okay. So if there are multi passengers, if there are multiple reissuance to be happen, so then you can use this ATC and it will be used with a very easy way. Clear? Last line, that the original ticket number on which the ATC has to be performed need to be auto priced. So this is another important line for that. What is that? That if I have to perform and I have to use the ATC functionality for this PNR, so the original ticket number must have been priced with auto pricing command. There is no manual reissuance to be performed. Manual issuance, not sorry, reissuance, manual issuance to be performed. How do I check whether this PNR is auto priced? Can anyone tell me? How do I check? Or is it a manual priced PNR? जल्दी बताइए सब लोग. कैसे चेक करेंगे ये पीएनआर हमारा मैनुअल प्राइस्ड है और ऑटो प्राइस्ड है? Absolutely correct, in the TST. Now tell me, is my PNR manually priced or is my PNR auto priced? Auto, because there is an FCPI indicator showing I0. Absolutely correct. Clear? Now, what if the here it is not showing I0, there it is showing FN or some other indicators? Then is it not auto priced? Acha. One second. Let me retrieve another PNR, and then I wanted to ask the question from everyone. Give me one second. Let me retrieve that PNR. Hmm. Now, this is a PNR. Now, let's take an example that the customer is giving you to reissue this PNR, and I have to perform the ATC reissue functionality. So if I wanted to see that whether this PNR is auto priced or manually priced, how do I check? Go and open the TST. Now tell me, is this PNR auto priced or manually priced? Someone is telling auto, someone is telling manual. All right. So I believe then I have to show you the FCPI command. Let's see, HEFCPI. Here you need to read about those FCPI indicators. So the list of FCPI values. Once again, let me open this page. Let me show you that example. MS43. Uh, all right, now there is another example. Let me show you the another example. And now I wanted to ask this question from everyone, that is it auto priced or manually priced? See, this is another example. Now tell me, is it auto priced or manually priced? Manual. All right. So all of you have forget this command, GGAMAINTKT. If I wanted to know that which all Amadeus is guaranteeing the fare on the auto pricings, which command I will perform? MS106. Let's open this page and let me go one page down. Now the indicator should be I0. This is an auto priced. Now instead of I0, you might see IF also. So is it an auto priced or manual priced? So what does this mean by auto priced and manual priced? Auto price means if you have performed the command fxx and you got the fare, that is an auto priced. Simple. No matter if you have used fxx slash r comma u or r comma u and the corporate code, the system provides you the fare and you have created a TST, that is treated as an auto priced. Understood? That I0 is not only the auto priced indicator. So that's why I showed you that here instead of I0, you might see IF also. You can see FN also. You might see the IZ also. These all indicators are called as an auto priced indicators. समझ में आया? Yes, no? ये आप बताओ,
Am
is
I
it an
audible?
auto? Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes, yes. Navin, I just want to know, like ये जो इंडिकेटर आपने बताए हैं I0 FN, तो ये FN अगर रहेगा then it will considered as immediate guaranteed fare.
Yes, that's correct. सिस्टम
ठीक
को
है,
आपको फेयर दिया हुआ है ना,
ठीक है.
तभी तो ऑटो प्राइस का सिंपल मतलब होता है कि आपने सिस्टम के थ्रू फेयर लिया है. एफएक्सएक्स एंट्री चलाई है. अब चाहे आप एफएक्सएक्स के बाद आर कॉमा यू चला लो, चाहे आप आर कॉमा यू के बाद आप कॉर्पोरेट कोड लगा लो, सिस्टम ने फेयर दिया ना आपको. दैट इज
बिल्कुल,
कॉल्ड एज एन ऑटो प्राइस फेयर.
ठीक है.
आपने कोई भी मैनुअल इंटरवेंशन नहीं दिया. अगर आपने मैनुअल इंटरवेंशन किया है, दैट मींस इफ यू हैव अपडेटेड थ्रू मैनुअली, तो ये जो इंडिकेटर है एम हो जाएगा.
एम हो जाएगा. ओके, करेक्ट. सो
समझ में आया?
ये जो इंडिकेटर्स रहते हैं इसको चेक करने का हेल्प कमांड HE और FCI आपने जो बोला था
हाँ, एचईएफसी. हाँ,
FCPI,
एचईएफसीपीआई.
तो उसमें सारे इंडिकेटर्स मिल जाएंगे हमको.
बिल्कुल, आपको एक एक आपको पेज खोलनी पड़ेंगे, देन यू विल गो एंड रीड अबाउट द
ओके,
टीएसटी
थैंक यू.
प्राइसिंग इंडिकेटर्स क्या होते हैं, लिस्ट ऑफ द वो क्या होते हैं,
विल
दैट.
डू दैट. थैंक यू.
ऑलराइट.
श्योर.
ऑलराइट. So that's why I was showing you here that you have to check about that FCPI indicators. Next is about let's go and talk about the next one. That if the original ticket is manually priced, ATC reissue will not be guaranteed. So if you are going to do the ATC reissuance functionality, that ATC reissue will not be guaranteed. However, sometimes certain airlines do not even display the ATC pricings. So अगर आपने ATC manual pricings के through बनाया है ना, तो ATC functionality work ही नहीं करेगा. However, some of the airlines will perform, but वो ATC reissue guaranteed नहीं होगा. ठीक है? And I will show you another thing that कि वो कैसे पता चलेगा कि वो ATC reissue guaranteed है या नहीं. So in that condition, it is clearly mentioned that this reissue is not guaranteed. Okay, is that clear? All right. So now let's go and read about some of the help pages of the ATC functionality. The first help page is HEATC. So if you perform this command HEATC, here you will be able to see the list of the entries related with the HEATC. Okay, ATC pricing entries, ATC pricing entries, options, involuntary reissuance, all of those informations. Clear? Yes, no? Now I have already shown you that if I wanted to see the ATC for the India market, that means the Amadeus ticket changer, what are the functionalities available? ATC reissue and ATC refund. So we are learning about ATC reissue. So we will go and use the ATC reissue and use this page where I will be able to see the ATC reissuance functionalities, how the ATC reissuance functionality will happen. So this will be mentioned here. Okay, is that clear? There is one more line mentioned, read about it. So if you are using the ATC functionality, reissue functionality, and the revalidation, system will automatically collect as applicable penalty in the TST as a tax code, as a Q surcharge, or as an EMD also. Okay, based on the participating local airlines policy. Whatever the local airlines policy is, that based on it, the system will automatically. Clear? समझ में आया? ठीक है. The next is, how do I go and start with the ATC reissue? So first of all, let's open the PNR. This is a PNR. Now the next thing is, I will open and check the e-ticket record, where I will check the status, coupon status. And I will able to see that, okay, this is a future dated travel. So this is a thumb rule on status. Now we need to check the change fee. Now you might ask me a question, so why I'm going to check the change fee? Everything gets picked up. So for you to make understand that how the penalty will be picked from which of the paragraph, whether it is picked from the penalty paragraph or whether it is being picked from the VC paragraph. Clear? So let's go and perform the command fxx slash the segment number 2 comma 3 slash r comma and the date of issuance, which is 26th of June 2025. This is I got the route fare. Let's go and perform FQN1 star P. Sorry, FQN1 star, and I wanted to read the penalty from the VC category. So I will simple type FQN1. मैं आपको पहले दिखाता हूं कि हम how the system will display you the entire fare quote notes. Let me go and open this command. Here you will see all the rules and regulations mentioned. And there you will see a PE category as well as the voluntary change category. That I wanted to show it to you. Understand? So if you have to use and I wanted to confirm that how much is the change penalty applicable, so where do we go? Should we go in the PE paragraph or a VC paragraph? VC. So let's go and click on this line and I will be able to see the penalty amount of that particular PNR. Now, how much is the penalty amount for this PNR? Date change penalty. Those of KQ International Fairs charge of how much? 75 US dollar for reissue, or highest fee for the all fare component. So there is how many fare component in this PNR? There is a single fare component. So I will be able to only read one of the fare rules and I got to know how much is the penalty, 75 US dollars. So I find out that my penalty is 75 US dollar. Now, the next thing, add the new segment in the PNR. So let's go and quickly add the new segment. I wanted to change it to 30th of July. So let's go and add 30th of July. Uh, Nairobi to Bombay in Kenya Airways. Done. The passenger was booked in which class of service? Echo. So here Echo is available. So now if you sell the Echo class seat, so it's highly chance that you will not be able to see the fare difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply do a same class of service and sell it. Done. Next, check if the airline is ATC is participating. So we have already checked, yes or no? KQ airline is participating. Now we have checked that the airline has filed the rules in the VC category. Yes or no? Tell me. So we have already checked both the commands. Now we need to go and do the pricings of that ATC. How do I do the pricing and get display of the calculation? With the help of command FXF. So जैसे हम करते थे ना FXX and the segment numbers. Similarly, here we will use FXF entry. Okay? So जो FXX करता था ना वही काम आपका FXF करेगा. The same will be displayed, but the only difference. Now, what is the difference? FXX will not show you the calculation. It will show you always the new fare. But FXF will show you the new fare and give you the calculation also. Now, let's see the difference. FXF slash the segment number. So which segment number is the new travel journey? Segment number 2 and the segment number 4. So let's do this. Done. The system automatically calculates here and give you the message: last ticketing date, date of origin, the penalty is collected on the ticket, the ticket stock restrictions based on it, and this airline is participating in the ATC reissuance. Here you will see the list of the airlines which has a 19th July and 30th of July. The not valid after is automatically there. The baggage is already there. Here you will see the old base fare. Here you will see the new base fare. And is there any fare balance value? Tell me. No fare balance. So the system calculates the difference in the base fare. The system calculates the old tax and the new tax, and there is no ticket fare, difference value. Then since there is no base fare difference and tax difference, there is a no ticket difference. There is only an applicable penalty. And how much is the applicable penalty? 6,783 rupees. Let me do MD and you will see how much is the total ad collect. 6,783 rupees. Clear? So you got the answer. Very simple. With one command you got the answer. कितना पैसा आपसे कस्टमर से चार्ज करना है? Okay, now if you wanted to confirm, आपको ये confirm करना है कि 75 US dollar convert करने के बाद क्या ये GST applicable हुआ इस penalty के ऊपर? No. So let's do that. FQC 75 USD slash INR. How much is that? 64560. And let's convert the 5% of 6450. How much it becomes? 6783. And the same is applicable here. Yes or no? Gandhi? Yes, it's absolutely. It's a very great thing. So you can do it very easily. Now you don't have to worry about anything. You can simply ask with the customer, pay this amount, and do the reissuance. Is it clear with the calculation? Anyone have any question? Yes, this will avoid the ADM also. But follow these important points. Clear? Now you might ask me a question. Sir, how do I get to know that while performing this command, if this fare is not guaranteed, will the system give you a warning? The answer will be yes. The system will give you a warning. Where do you see the warning comes up? Here in between this line, you will see a message that the ticket is on the reissue is not guaranteed. समझ में आया? So अगर वो guaranteed नहीं होगा ना, so that will also show you that reissue is not guaranteed. Okay? Is that clear with everyone? Stock restrictions based on that. ये आपके वो आपका लैट में ये एयरलाइन अलाउड है या नहीं है इशू करने के लिए, दैट्स कॉल्ड टिकट स्टॉक नंबर, स्टॉक रेस्ट्रिक्शंस. ओके, क्लियर? Is this clear with everyone? And you can feel it very easily that it's very easy for the reissuance. So manual reissuance avoid an ADM avoid karega. You don't have to calculate too many things over the system. Clear? Next, since everything is okay, you can simply go and save the PNR. Customer ne bola, I'm okay with that. Every changes, quickly go and save that and save the PNR. Yes, Aritara, unmute yourself and ask your question. Aritara, you must have missed my first sentence. FQN ATC/CXR. तभी तो मैं कहता हूं मेरे पूरे वर्ड्स को सुना करें. एक एक वर्ड्स में शुरू में ही मैंने ये कमांड बताया था कि कैसे चेक करेंगे कि कौन सा एयरलाइंस पार्टिसिपेट करती है नहीं करती है. इफ यू हैव नोटिस्ड, हियर आई हैव स्टार्टेड विद द फर्स्ट कमांड. It should be in the activated in the office ID and the airlines participating. Nahi hai, so it is not allowed. Done. And you can go ahead. There are so many airlines living. This is only a page number 1. There are so many airlines. MD. आपको और भी एयरलाइंस के नाम दिखेंगे यहाँ पे. Got your point, Aritara? Okay. Now I have um, already performed the FXX entry and I FXF entry and I got the answers. Clear? Next, will this command used to with the negotiated fare? The answer will be yes. Will this command give me the fare for the corporate command? The answer will be yes. Will this command give me for the partial reissuance? Yes. So partial reissuance पे भी FXF entry चलती है. Okay. Is that clear? Now always check the header while going and using the ATC reissuance. Always check the header that I showed you about the header line. Here. Sorry. The header. Always check the header. and if it is mentioned ATC reissue is guaranteed or not. If nothing is mentioned, it means it's a guaranteed. And if it is showing ATC is not guaranteed, it means it is not guaranteed. Okay. Now, what if that is not guaranteed? Now, if it is not guaranteed, then follow the steps of manual. Okay. If it is guaranteed, you can go ahead and do the changes. Okay. So you have to go and check all those informations. Now, why that sometimes that is showing you that it is not guaranteed? That's one of the reason that the airline has not filed the rules in the VC category. So that's why I have already earlier mentioned कि अगर वो VC category में filings नहीं होगी तो वो कहाँ जाके check करेगा command आपका वो FXF entry penalty को it checks the penalty category और वहां पे अगर penalty लिखी होगी from there it picks the amount and then it is not guaranteed. Clear? Is that clear? Quickly tell me, is that clear? Okay. Now we need to save the PNR, delete the whole segment and save the PNR. Yes?
I just could you please say the notes again, like short notes?
मैं अभी तो notes मैंने भेजा ही नहीं है. मैंने notes अभी तक नहीं भेजा है.
No, I mean
भेज दूंगा ना आपको notes.
no,
Which
I
one?
mean वो conditions है वो, ये जो command आपने
I
बताया
will
FXX.
send you every notes. Don't worry about the notes. Focus on the training. मैं जो बता रहा हूँ उसको तो आप focus करो. ये तो मैं ऐसे भी दे दूंगा आपको.
No, not that note actually sir. मैं ये
Which
बोल
one?
रहा था ये जो this FXF command इसको यूज करने के लिए जो conditions रहते हैं ना वो एक बार बता देंगे, रिपीट कर देंगे बस.
ओके तो कंडीशंस क्या है सिंपल है कि आपका ऑफिस आईडी में एक्टिवेटेड होने चाहिए ये एयरलाइन पार्टिसिपेट करनी चाहिए आपका फेयर रूल्स वीसी कैटेगरी में फाइल्ड होने चाहिए दीज आर द सिंपल कंडीशंस
Okay. Thank you so much.
okay next I save the pnr delete the unwanted segment and save the pnr done now I have to go and perform a one single atc command which will update the tst for the reissuance and what is that command fxq and press enter. The moment I do this, I will see the same display which was showing for the FXF and it will show you the penalty and everything. But if you notice with the FXU command, everything has been updated automatically. Now let me show you the what all has been updated. First of all, do you see the FO line here in the PNR? Do you see the form of payment is automatically updated? If I show you the TST, let's see, is the TST set up for reissue? Is the missing elements of the TST got updated? Yes, no? And do you see there is a X indicator showing that is a 323 rupees as in GST amount. This GST is applicable on the date change penalty 6460. And what is the two-letter code of that date change penalty? OA. And this method is called as tax code method. Penalty is charged as in tax code method. So automatically everything is updated. You don't have to think about it where I have to update it and where I have not to update it. And one very important thing, is this TST guaranteed and auto priced? Yes or no? So everything has been done. Now what you have to simply do, save everything in the PNR and simply go and perform the command TTP. Done. TTP slash RT. Reissuance done. Okay. Reissuance done. If I show you the ticket image, TWD, slash line number 6. So you can see that the reissuance is done with that collect amount. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now the next thing, if there is a PNR which has an EMD, that means the penalty is charged as an EMD method. Automatically the EMD will be created and you have to simply perform TTP slash TTM, then the e-ticket reissuance done and EMD issuance done also together. Is that clear? So everything can be done. Now, this is a very short session that I have displayed and we have discussed here. There is a 3 hours session to be conducted in every week. You can join that session, and with that, you will learn this ATC in detail. Okay, this week, the next week there will be an ATC session. You can join the ATC session the next week. Okay, get in touch with your account manager. They will help you and let you know about the ATC sessions, where you will see lot of information about the ATC. Okay, this is a very short session which we have discussed in within 15-20 minutes. There is a dedicated 3 hour session. You can join that. Clear? Is it clear? Okay, there is one more thing I wanted to discuss about this ATC. Once the ATC has been reissued and you wanted to see that how much was the penalty amount, how much was the base fare and everything, there is a command which will help you to display the calculation through ATC. Yes, Saurav, I'm giving you a break, don't worry. And what is the command? TQR. Enter. This will show you the entire calculation. Clear? Yes, no? Is that clear? So I am going to send you the notes in your chat box. Copy and then you can go ahead for the break. Let me first of all send you this one. Done. Okay, now let's do a break time. So it's as per my laptop, 11:45. So break till 11:55. Okay. Thank you so very much. See you in 11:55. Kindly explain this one, it should be activated. Aritara, which simply means that this product or this functionality is to be activated in your Office ID. Without that activations, you'll not be able to use this. It's very simple line mention, Aritara. Okay, I got it. OID stands as an Office ID. Okay, SHD means should. So there is a notes mention. So that's why I do not prefer to send them my notes entire. Uh, anyhow, um, let's begin the session. All right, let me share the screen again. Now I am going to start with the next topic, which is very important, and that is related with refunds. All right, because we are done with the entire scenarios of reissuance and everything. Okay, now yesterday someone has asked me for the multiple reissuance, that I will share it with you. And one more thing we are going to discuss once the refund topic will be discussed, related to SOTO to ticketing. How did you issue the SOTO ticket? That we are going to discuss. Okay. But first of all, let's complete this our refunds topic. So are all of you ready with this refund scenarios? Um, Tanveer and everybody, please one thing. I am sending you the notes that is absolutely very helpful for you, but be aware while using the notes because there are so many informations which is based on my examples. Okay, so please look at those examples which I have used in the notes. Don't try to copy everything. Okay, is it clear? Huh. So don't just go and blindly start following my entire notes, because the once the scenario is changing, so definitely the entire notes will not work. So then you have to follow those entire scenarios based on the notes. Okay. All right. The next important thing. Now we are going to start with the refunds topic, and for that we are going to start with the first command. What is that first command? The first command, that first of all we have to check with the HETT and the airline code whether that airline is allowing you to do the refund in your Office ID or not. How did I check that whether it is allowed for that? Let me open the PNR first of all, and based on that PNR we will start with this example. So this is a PNR here. Here is my PNR. British Airways, correct? Now, I first of all need to check whether the British Airways is allowing me to do the refund in my Office ID or not. How did I check this one? This will be checked with HEETT followed by the BA. This command will help me and to find out the electronic ticketing guidelines for the British Airways. And I need to check about the country. So here is the India country. I will open MS 152. And I will do MD. Here you will see that refund is supported by the airlines for the Indian travel agents. Is that clear? If it is showing N, just like here, N, that means not supported. Is it clear with everyone? Okay. The next, the next thing is about start processing with the cancellation. And how do I start with the cancellation process? Step number one. Again, go with this e-ticket, display the e-ticket record, check the coupon status, check the travel date. Correct? It should be O or A. Is this clear? So this first step is thumb rule for any of the scenarios. Reissuance, refund, any scenario. Clear? If it will be a future travel date, then the normal cancellation penalty will be applicable. And if it is a past travel date, then the no-show penalty will be also applicable. So this is the two lines that you all of know. Yes or no? This is very simple line. Now we need to go and check the cancellation penalty. So I'm going to start to see the cancellation penalty with the command FQD origin destination followed by the airline code. Let me go /ABA followed by the class of service followed by the travel date /R comma and the ticket issuance date, which is 25th of June. Is this clear? Enter. Yes, FQN. You have to read the FQN condition. Now we need to see about this fare basis code. Where do you see this fare basis code? Here is the line. Yes, no? Now, I will not read this line number, though both of them are having the... Okay, we'll have to read this one because this is a round trip journey fare. Yes or no? Clear? So what is the fare line quote line number? FQN 8 star PE. And I will be able to read that there is no penalty mentioned as an specified for the refund. So without penalty permitted at any time, you can go and do the cancellations. Not only the cancellations, you can go ahead with the changes also. So this is completely a fully refundable PNR. Is that clear? So I checked it. And now we are going to start with the examples. Now the example number one, the cancellation fee is not mentioned as per the fare rules. Yes, unlimited changes without penalty. Okay, now everybody please focus on the refunds topic. Now we are done with this reissuance. Now we are at the refunds topic. So please focus on the refund scenarios. Okay. Next, there is no penalty mentioned as per the fare rules. Now the second thing, we need to check the airline for the RAF charge also. Okay. How do I get, what is this RAF charge? This is a refund administration fee, which some of the airlines will charge in case of you are going to cancel the ticket. That means in case of processing the refund, they will charge you a minimum amount. And what is that amount as an RAF? That is 300 rupees. Just for an example, I am giving you. Whatever the airline suggests you, you need to follow that amount in your scenario. Is that clear? So the cancellation fee is 0 and the RAF is, for an example, 300. So how much is the total cancellation penalty? Total penalty is 300. And on the top of the penalty amount, there will be a 5% or a 12% GST as per the cabin. If it is an economy cabin, 5%, above economy, 12%. Or you can go and read The same in the fare rules also. It is clearly mentioned. So if it is a 5%, how much it would be of 300? 15 rupees. If it is a 12%, how much? 36 rupees. So as per the scenario, total cancellation penalty either would be 315 or 336. Clear? Now there is another example, because this is one example for how much is the total cancellation penalty. Yes, Gyandeep, you can say it's like a service fee for the airline. Now the second example is cancellation fee will be applicable as per the 10,000 rupees. Just an example we are taking about. There is a cancellation fee of 10,000 rupees. RAF would be applicable for 300 rupees for an example. So how much will be the total cancellation penalty? 10,000 rupees. So if there will be a 5% or a 12% GST, so this is the 12% or 5% of 10,300. And how much is the total cancellation fee? Either it will be 10,815 or 11,516. Saurav, 5% if it is an economy, and above economy, 12%. That's simple. I told you in the beginning. Okay. Saurav, is this clear? And I have already mentioned that the the GST will be applicable as per the fare rules also. There is in the fare rules, it is clearly mentioned. That I will also show you in one of the fare rule where it is clearly mentioned. Okay. So we have understood about these two examples. Is this clear? How do we calculate the total cancellation fee? If there is no penalty, we will the penalty and cancellation fee. Then on the top of that, we'll add the 5% and 12%. Okay. And what if the airline said no RF, no cancellability? Then we do not charge any of the GST amount as well. Because हम GST किस पे apply करेंगे? There is no RAF and there is no cancellation penalty. Clear? Yes, no? Okay. Now we are going to start with the next part. The next is we need to cancel the segment and save the PNR. Always remember, if you receive a PNR, that means you have opened the PNR and the PNR has to process with the cancellation. Okay. You have already discussed with the customer about the penalty and everything. The customer is okay. Now, what is the step number one that you have to perform? The step number one is to cancel the PNR and then process with the refund. Is that clear? Yes, no? Okay. Yes, you can do XI or XE. I prefer XE because XE will show me the PNR, the ticket number, and from the ticket number I will perform the TRF command, जो कि हमारा refund का command है. Gyandeep, connect with an airline and they will let you know, because this is an refund administration fee collected from the airline's end. So this needs to be checked from the airlines. ठीक है? This is not a fixed amount. Now, let's go and talk about this next step. What if the itinerary is already cancelled? That means you got a PNR where there is XI already happened. And then you have to process with the refund. So always make a thumb rule. Once you see the PNR is cancelled, check the air segment history to know the date and the time of cancellations. That what was the date of PNR cancellation? Yes or no? How did you check that? With the help of command RHA. And in the RHA, you will see a line called XS. Okay? Let me show you that example. Give me 1 second. Let me a PNR. Let me retrieve a PNR. Here. All right. This is a PNR. Is this clear? Now, in the PNR is already cancelled. The customer called you to just and you have received the email that you have to process the refund. Clear? So you are sitting in a refunds department. You have to process the refund. Always make a thumb rule. You saw that the PNR is cancelled. Go and perform RHA. Now, Aritara, the RHA will only show you the history of air segment. There you will not see any other history of that itinerary. But if you perform RHI, you will see the entire history of the PNR or itinerary. And Sonali has already replied this answer in the chat. Is that clear? So always perform RHA. Why we do RHA? Because RHA will give me the exact date and time of the cancellation. Where do I see that the date of cancellation? Here, do you see there is an XS showing line? XS means cancelled segment. And what all the segments are cancelled? 6th August and the 25th of August. Who has cancelled? The Naveen Mishra has cancelled. What was the date of cancellation? That is 26th of June. What was the time of cancellation? This is the time of cancellation. Check this one, because if it is a close to the travel day, so you have to know, that before 3 hours of the departure of the flight, the PNR is not a no-show. But if it is within 3 hours, then it becomes a no-show. So how do you get to know that when was the PNR cancelled? With this timing. Because date is very much visible, but the timing is always going to show in a Zulu timing. And with the help of a conversion command, you can convert the Zulu timing into the local timing. How did you convert? DD triple Z and copy the only timing excluding this Z line, and then you type the city that I wanted to see the information about Delhi city. That means in as per the Delhi local time, what was the time of PNR cancellations? And then you will see that the PNR was cancelled just 3 or 4 minutes before. Is this clear? Okay. So this is how you will have to perform that if the itinerary is cancelled already. Clear with everyone? Now, the next step. How do you retrieve the refund record after the PNR is cancelled or if the PNR is live? So I am going to talk you about the first step. When the PNR is live, how will you process with the refund record? So if you wanted to process the refund record, when the PNR ticket number is showing in the PNR. Let me show you the example. If I do XE segment number 2 and 3, then you will always see the ticket number in the PNR. See, the ticket number always gets displayed here. And with the help of the ticket number, you can go ahead and perform TRF slash the line number. This is how you will simply go, and once you see there is a ticket number showing in the FHE line, you can perform the command TRF and the line number. Is that clear? But what if the refund, the PNR is already cancelled? You have to process with the ticket number. How do you find out the ticket number? Tell me. For this example, the PNR is cancelled. Yes or no? How do I find out the ticket number? Can anyone tell me the command to display the ticket number only? TQT. Okay, let's do this TQT then. Aritara, there is no TST because PNR is already cancelled. Then Dave, there is no ticket number. How do I display the ticket number? That's my question. Let's do TWDO star. Sorry. There is no e-ticket record. So how do I display the old ticket image record? Tell me. No ET record then. Okay, let's do RTTN then. There is no element found. Let's do RHFA. And there you will get the ticket number. Now, absolutely correct, Devendra. So all of you noted. So once you receive a PNR where there is no e-ticket number displaying, with the help of ticket number, how will you find out that? So open the PNR and perform the command RHFA. So that will display me all the ticket number, all the FA lines history, all the FA lines history. Okay. Is it clear? So all of you noted this command RHFA. Please note down this one. So that I have already given you. Now, once you get the ticket number with the help of command TRF and the ticket number, you can simply process with the refund. This is how you can display the refund record. Okay. Is this clear? Now, once you have already displayed the refund record and you wanted to display the tax refund record, which command you will perform to display the tax refund record? TRFT. This will open the refundable tax record. Is this clear? Now, if you wanted to redisplay the again refund record, you are in the tax refund and you wanted to back to the refund record, then you simply type TRF. This is also a command given. And at any point of time, if you wanted to ignore the refund record because you don't want to process the refund, you can simply type TRFIG. Okay. This will help you to process with the ignoring the refund record. Clear? Is it clear? Great. Next. And the next is, now we are going to start with scenario number 1, case of involuntary cancellations. Do you know what are the conditions of involuntary cancellation? Tell me. Do you know what are the conditions of involuntary cancellation? What is involuntary cancellation? Tell me. FNOP. Flight non-operational. Absolutely correct. Or flight is cancelled by the airline, HN, HX. These are the status. So the airline said, okay, cancel the PNR and you can process with the full refund. Absolutely correct, Aritara. UN also status. So in case of in place of HK, you might see UN also here. Okay. So what if there is an involuntary cancellation happen due to any condition and you have to, so what will you do? You will display the refund record. always remember one thing. The step number one, the PNR should be cancelled. Before processing the refund, the PNR should always be cancelled. Is it clear? Yes, no? And then you process with TRF and the FHE line, if it is showing FHE line. I'm not audible. What about others? Am I not audible? Please confirm other people. Abhijit, Akanksha, Dev, Devendra, Gyandeep, Ravindra, Satvik. Gyandeep and other people, please check your headphones. TRF slash the line number. Okay. So what I will do, I'll simply type the TRF and the line number. So before that, I have to cancel the segment. Don't forget to cancel the segment. So let me cancel the segment XE2, 3. I perform the cancellation. Yes or no? Save the PNR. Done. Now I will simply type TRF slash the line number 4, which will display me the refund record. Clear? Now let's. Now, did you notice here what happened? I was earlier performed the command TRF open. Is my voice not audible to everyone? People are telling me my voice is not audible. Let me check. I'm trying to change the network. Now, please, everybody confirm, is my voice audible to everyone? Akanksha? Akanksha? All right. Now, let's go and focus on the topics. So here, the refund record is already pending. So we have to ignore the previous refund record, and then we will perform TRF slash the line number. Done? And you will see there is a refund record gets displayed for this agency name, date. This is showing uh, um, that the refund is going to be processed through automation automatically, and yes, the refund can be allowed for the processings. This is called TKTY. Name of the passenger, issuance date, and the ticket document number. And what is this CPNS mentioned? CPNS called coupons. So there are two coupons only: for outbound journey, coupon number 1, and for inbound journey, coupon number 2. And if there are other coupons also, that's the coupon number 3 and the coupon number 4 will display. Okay. For my scenario, there are only two coupons, coupon number 1 and the coupon number 2. This is fare that I have paid as in base fare. I have not used any fare, that's why it is showing 0. And that's the total going to refund. Here is the tax refund amount. If I wanted to refund the show the tax refund amount, I will simply type TRFT, where I will be able to see the all refundable taxes to be displayed here. Again, if I wanted to back to the refund record, type TRF. And here you will see the total going to refund amount. There is 0 commission, and the refund is going to be given as an cash form of payment because I have used the form of payment as a cash at the time of issuance. So in the same method of the payment, the refund will gets reflected. Is that clear? Okay. Next, once I have already opened the refund record with the TRF and the line number, and since it's a involuntary cancellation, so there are many times the airline sends you a waiver code. Okay, there are many times the airline sends you a waiver code that you have to add in the refund record so that they can understand, that means the airline can understand that this is a full refund due to that particular waiver code. Understood? I believe you must have received so many emails from the airline due to bulk cancellations. The airline has sending you a notification on the email that, dear travel partner, this has happened, so use this waiver code in your refund record. Yes or no? So how will you add the waiver code in case of involuntary cancellation? You will type TRFU slash WA. So TRFU is the command to update anything in the refund record. So if you wanted to update the penalty, then also you use TRFU. If you wanted to update waiver code, then also you use TRFU. Or if you wanted to update the used fare also, then also you use the TRFU command. U stands to update anything in the refund record. Now after that you use slash WA because there is a waiver code provided by the airline. Type that waiver code. Okay, do not type any random waiver code. Whatever the waiver code which is provided by the airline, just in case there is a cancellation to happen due to any reason, you have to add that waiver code. Is that clear with everyone? So this is how you add the waiver code. Is it clear? Yes, no? And once you have entered the waiver code, you can simply go and process the refund. How did you process the refund? The command is very simple, TRFP. So if you wanted to process the refund, simple type this command, TRFP, press enter. You will see a SAC number, which is called as an settlement authorization code, which is used for the accounts team, which is used by the accounts teams to get the refund. Okay, they can verify that, okay, how much is the refund received in against to this SAC number. Is that clear? Is this clear with everyone? Tell me yes, no. Waiting for the response, guys. Am I audible to everyone? Abhijit is telling only yes. What about others? Akancha, Ritara, Shutosh, Dev, Devendra, Gyandeep, Sajesh, Ravindra. What is BA in TRU? Gyandeep, I just have informed you that this is a waiver code provided by the airline. Gyandeep, yes, that's an example where I have used AC 2837.
On the note only, if you can open actually, this AC2837 is mentioned in the bracket, and
That's an
they mention,
example of waiver code
yeah,
given by the airline. I have clearly mentioned that AC 283 is an example. For
and
my example, this is a British Airways waiver code.
okay, so that is British Airways, it's airline. Okay, yeah,
Hmm. Is this clear?
yeah.
Now you simply process the refund and your refund gets processed. All right. Now, what if you mentioned the waiver code incorrect and you wanted to update the correct waiver code. How will you update? There is no cancellation command that you delete this line and then you update it. So then what you can do, you can rerun the same command and update with the correct waiver code. Let's take an example. This is a correct waiver code. I type the correct waiver code and press enter. Now the correct waiver code gets updated. Is it clear? Is it clear? Type in the chat yes or no. Now, at any point of time, if you do not, because there is a by mistake, you have added the waiver code. The airline has not sent any waiver code for the PNR. I added by mistakenly. I read the different email and due to which I have added the waiver code. Now, I don't want it to add and show the waiver code in the PNR. So how will you remove the waiver code line? You will simply rerun the command trfu and a blank word. That means trfu/wa. This will remove the waiver code line from the PNR, the refund record. Is it clear? Now let me type all of these commands in the chat. Now in the notepad. trfu/wa will help to delete the waiver code. Okay. And to update with the waiver code, help to update the new waiver code. Is it clear with everyone? So let me send you the scenario number 1 in your chat box. Before that, let me send you all of these commands in your chat box. Copy that notes in your chat box from the chat box. Then we'll proceed with the next scenario. Done? Is this clear? Can I go with the next example? Now, what is the command that I will use? More than one waiver code? Why would you receive more than one waiver code, Gyandeep? Tell me. Why do you receive more than one waiver code? एयरलाइन एक ही वेवर कोड देगी ना एक रिफंड के लिए या दो आपको वेवर कोड देगी एक ही रिफंड करने के लिए All right. Endorsement. For which endorsement are you talking about? I'm asking about endorsement. Are you talking about the FE element? Sonali, will you please help me with that part? What is he asking? I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand.
Yeah, I think endorsement is the FE element, if that is what Gyantip is looking for. So Gyantip, if you want to add the waiver code in the endorsement, you will the entry that you will perform is FE followed by the waiver code. So if it endorse for endorsement, Amadeus command is FE. Naveen, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Next, the next scenario, can anyone tell me how do I ignore this refund? I don't want to process this refund from here. So how do I ignore it? Tell me, what is the command that I will ignore the refund record? TRF IG. And this will automatically ignore the refund record. Clear? Now let's go and talk about the second scenario. And the second scenario is where there is a full refund with no penalty and no RAF as per the airline. So we have already checked about this PNR, and in the fare rules there is no penalty amount, and we have contacted the airline, and airline is telling you that no RAF to be applicable. So how do I go and display the refund record and process the full refund? I can do two things. One, I can simply do TRF slash the line number and display the refund record. And from here, I can simply go and type TRFP. This will help me to get a SAC number. And that SAC number is called as an settlement authorization code. Okay, is that clear? So you get the simple SAC number and you get a message, refund record processed. Now if you wanted to open the refund the e-ticket record with the help of command twd slash tkt, and let me copy the entire ticket number. You will see the status shows refunded. Did you notice this part? Yes, no? So e-ticket coupon status is showing refunded. Is this clear with the second scenario? And if the refund EMD is refund is allowed, there are sometimes the EMD is also refundable, and you wanted to process the refund of that EMD, then you type the same command, but at the end you type EMD. For refunding the e-ticket, you don't have to type anything after the line number, but for EMD you have to type the EMD. Is that clear? So I'm sending you the second scenario in the chat box. Please note it down. Done? Any questions from any one of you? Please let me know. Waiting for the response, guys. Yes, no. So any question? No question? Yes, question. I think can I get a response from everyone? Urmila, Tanveer, Saurav, Satyam, Satvik, Sajesh, Ravendra. All right. Is there any way to check the waiver code update history? Uh, Tanveer, please unmute yourself and ask your question. In which scenario are you asking?
Am I audible, Naveen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes. I mean, I just want to know, like, if there is any way we are updating the waiver code through that
Mm-hmm.
TRF command.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we are providing the waiver code whichever it has been provided by the airline, TRFU W hyphen slash WA and the waiver code.
Mm-hmm.
And then in case if we provided the wrong waiver code also, we
Mm-hmm.
have the option to change it or to
Mm-hmm.
update it or to
Mm-hmm.
make it nil.
before
So
before processing the refund. Remember.
hmm, before processing the refund. So
Hmm.
is there any way to check the history? I'm just asking additional question
You can
of
redisplay the refund record, na? The once the refund has been processed, you can
Mhm.
go ahead and check that the refund has been processed with which waiver
Okay,
code.
okay, okay.
But after the refund is processed, before not.
After refund is processed, we will. Okay, I
Hmm.
got it. Now it
Hmm.
is clear.
सिंपल अंडरस्टैंड तनवीर.
Mhm.
पीएनआर में जब तक आप सेव नहीं करते हो तब तक आप
तब तक
हिस्ट्री
वो
नहीं होती.
नहीं
तो
होगा,
जब तक
सही
आप
है।
प्रोसेस नहीं करोगे तो हिस्ट्री कहाँ से देखोगे? आप तो जितनी मर्जी चेंज कर
बिल्कुल
लो, कोई कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसमें.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल समझ गया मैं, क्लियर हो गया, थैंक यू।
Yes, Abhijit, for zero full refund, you don't have to put anything. Simply to open the refund record and process that. Okay. All right. There is another way of processing the full refund without going and performing the TRFP command. What is that? Open the refund record, put the line number and put the full. Simple. The full will go with the full refund. Okay. So you don't have to process TRFP command. That will automatically process the full refund. Clear, Abhijit? All right. Now we are going to discuss with an third scenario. And in the third scenario, where there is a penalty. Okay. And how do we update the penalty amount? Let's go and talk about. So this is a PNR. Okay. Now let's go and check first of all the applicable penalty. So I will do FXX entry to check the applicable fair rules. FXX segment number 2, comma 3 slash 25th June 2025. And here you will simply type FQN 1 star PE. Now I got the cancellation penalty. How much is the cancellation penalty? 150 US dollar. Done. Now let's read other informations also. That anything else that is telling you about the cancellations. So applicable fee must be converted in the local currencies as per the banker's selling rate. Fees are not applicable for infant without a seat. In case of ticket upgraded, the original non-refundable amount remains non-refundable. Remember? So if you have upgraded yourself and the original ticket was non-refundable, it will non-refundable. And wire is non-refundable. So there is one more line that the wire tax is non-refundable. Clear? And in case of no-show, the no-show fee of 100 USD and the cancellation fee of 100 USD for the cancellation. That means how much penalty will be applicable in case of no-show? 250 US dollar. Clear? So these are some lines mentioned. And I told you in the beginning that how much is the GST applicable? That is also showing you here. How much is the GST applicable? 5% on any fees charged for the rebooking, reissuance, cancellation, voiding, no show. And they must be shown on the ticket using codes K3. Clear? Done. So we got to know every details. Now let's go and calculate it with FQC 150 US dollar slash INR. How much it will be? 12,915 rupees. So let me note down here the value. 150 US dollar, which is converted into how much? 12195, 12915. This is the total penalty. RAF needs to be checked with an airline. For an example, this is a 300 rupees. So how much will be the total penalty? Let me open the calculator and let me calculate everything in front of you. So 12915 plus 300. This is 13215. 13215. Now, how much is the 5% GST of that 1325? Let's go and calculate the 5%. How much? 661, because there is a rounded figure. So we will add here the 5% GST. 661. And if I add, it becomes 13,876. The total penalty is 13,876. Clear? So this is the simple calculation we did it. Done? Now, we need to process with the next example. And the next scenario is go and start with the processing. Now, what is the next step? Next step is very simple. We need to do the cancellation, segment number 2, comma 3, before going to process that part and save it. Done? Now, the next step is to go and display the refund record. Let's go and do. Let me ignore this one, and I'm going to copy the ticket number, and with the help of ticket number, I'm going to process this refund record. And I'm going to open the refund record. Let's open the refund record. I opened the refund record. Yes, no? Is this clear? Great. Now, the next information. Once we have done, we need to add the cancellation penalty. How do I add the cancellation penalty? For updating everything in the refund record, we use TRFU slash. The two-letter code for adding cancellation penalty is CP. Understood? Now, how much is the cancellation penalty? Tell me. How much is the total cancellation penalty? 13,876. So let's mention 13,876. Done. Press enter. Now what happened here? Tell me. Do you see the cancellation fee is updated? Yes or no? Do you see the cancellation fee is updated here? And how much is the cancellation fee updated? Tell me. 37,88,148. How come this 37,88,148 becomes? Because I have entered 13,876. Because here we need to add one keyword that will pick that it is a amount, it is not as a percent. Because here if I do not enter anything, the system will pick that value as a percent. Do you see here? And whose percent? This will be treated as the base fares percent. So 13,876% of this 27,300 is 37,88,148 rupees. Okay, which is absolutely incorrect penalty. So I wanted to update the only this as an amount, and this I will do a word every time. Remember, while updating the cancellation penalty, don't forget to type after entering the penalty as a A. Is this clear? Yes, no? And then press enter. That gets automatically updated. Now you will see the 50% of the base fare is 13,876 rupees. Now is it clear? Yes, no? Great. Next. And the next is that there is a wire tax non-refundable. Yes or no? So we have to update the wire tax also. Yes or no? So how do I just open an the tax refund panel? TRFT. And we have to delete this wire tax. Okay? How will I delete the wire tax? There is a command which is given, which is I have not shown you in this example, but let me show you that command here. the step number 3, TRFU slash TX1. TX1, one second. One second, guys. I'm getting a call. Just give. So, what we will do, we'll simply do this cancellation of that YR tax. How do I cancel it? With the command TRFU and the tax number. So, what is the tax number of YR tax? Tax number 1. Yes or no? So, we will delete this YR tax. Okay. So let's delete this YR tax. TRFU slash TX number 1, and TX number 1 is the first tax number as YR tax, which is non-refundable. Is this clear? So let's perform that command. TRFU slash TX1. Deleted. Is this clear? Yes, no? Great. Now the next step. And everybody, please focus here. The next step. Everybody, this is very, very important for everyone. Everyone, please remember. Wait for once again. Let me just pull out that information. Okay, here. So everybody, please pay attention here. Um, if you notice, sorry about it. Here, if you notice, how many of you know that how is the GST tax given, and how the GST tax, which is a K3 tax, showing you in this any of the PNR, how that will be calculated? How this GST K3 is calculated as 1,452 rupees. Anyone have idea? That will be calculated on the base fare plus YQ plus YR. So that will be added, and as per the fare rules, it is a 5% as a GST, as a K3. Okay. So how much is the base fare? Tell me. How much is the base fare? 2,700. So let me add a 2,700. How much is the YR which we have deleted? 1,734 rupees. 1,734 rupees. If I add both the values, let me add 27,300 plus 1,734. How much it becomes total amount of YQ and YR? Sorry, base fare and YR, because there is no YQ. Do you see any YQ tax is there in this fare? So if there is no YQ, so we'll not add the YQ. Clear? So the total of base fare and the YR is 29,034. And if I do a 5% of that one, how much it becomes? 1,451. Yes or no? 1,452, because there we have to rounded it as a K3. Now all of you tell me, there is a complete wire tax which is non-refundable. So don't you believe that the K3 is also to be reduced? Yes or no? Now you might ask me a question, sir, why? Because if the wire is non-refundable, that means wire is completely not going to be refundable. So why you will get, why the passenger will get an extra K3? Because the K3 is calculated on the adding of the base fare and the YQ and YR. Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no? Aritara said no. Why? Aritara, can you just unmute yourself? Aritara, there are 20 people in this session. Please reply. How many of you understood this concept? Yes or no? Muhammad Zian, Nishani, Ravindra, Satvik, Satyam, Saurav. Aritara, did you understand? Yes or no? Okay. So now, since the wire is completely non-refundable, so whichever is the amount of the wire tax, that means how much it will be of 5% of 1734? 1734, the 5%. How much is the 5% of 1734? Which is 87 rupees. So the 87 rupees is to be reduced from the K3 also. Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no? Great. So then I will come to this tax refundable tax panel and I will reduce the 87 rupees from the K3. So how much it will be? Of 1452 minus 87. So that now the 1365 rupees is the K3 refundable. So how will I reduce? How will I update the 1365 rupees as a K3? I will type a command trfu slash tu. Tx is to delete the any taxes that we have done, and tu is to update the value. And which one is the tax number that we need to update? Tax number 2. How much is the amount? 365. Understood? And you will see the tax number 2 is now updated with the correct value. Now, a lot of people do this mistake in the refund. What they do, they reduce the wire tax, they delete the YQ and YR, and then they do not reduce the K3. And due to which the ADM comes from the airline. Is this clear? Now make sense, make logic why we are going to reduce this K3? Yes or no? Now come to the refund panel and then you can go ahead and process the refund. So let me type those commands that we have done. We have done. So what we have done, we have calculated the K3 value. K3 will be calculated on base fare plus YQ plus YR. And as per the 5% or 12% as per the class of the as per the cabin, or it is written in the fare rules also. So for my scenario, we have checked there is a 5% written. So how much it will be? Let's understand the logic here. So YQ was how much? 2,700, correct? The base fare was, I'm sorry, the base fare was 27,300 plus the YR was 1,734 rupees. Yes, no? 1,734. Yes, no? And then we got 1,432 is the K3 value, which is GST. Yes, no? One four five two, not 32, 1,452. Since wire is non-refundable, based on the wire amount, K3 is going to be reduced. Clear? So 1,734 minus how much is the 5% of that value? That is, one second. One second, guys. 1 minute. I'm sorry. After deducting the 87 from the total K3, 1,365 is the refundable GST amount. Is it clear? Is it clear with everyone? And then we'll simply go and process the refund. Done with that part. TRFP. You will get a SAC number. Again, you will go over the open and TWD/TKT and open the ticket number. You will see the coupon status is showing refunded. Clear? Let me send you this scenario in your chat box. That is refund with penalty and done with everyone. Quickly note down. We have two more scenarios to cover. Noted by everyone? All right. Now let's go and talk about our next scenario, and that is the related with a non-refundable scenario where there is a fair rule saying non-refundable. So how will we process the non-refundable scenarios PNR? So let's go and check about the PNR. Here is the PNR given. Now, what is the next first step to check? Check the ticket image. There is status showing open, future dated travel. Go and perform the FQD command to check the fare rules. Delhi, Frankfurt, in Lufthansa, in Charlie class, 19th July, and the date of issuance is 26th of June 2025. I got to see CNNCAA. This is the first fair rule. Let me go in FQN 1 star PE and I will be able to open. Okay, FQN 1 star 2 because that's the second one. I'm sorry, I opened an incorrect fair rule here. What is mentioned here? Tell me, non-refundable. Now let's go and take about other part. The other information about that. There is a waiver can be given in case of death of a passenger or rejection of a visa. Embassy statement is required. That is one exceptions given. The refund rule is just given here. And there are some of the informations given. Let me go and read about some other things. There is a child discount and infant seat free of charge. Refund permitted within the ticket validity. And there is a ZP and XF tax is completely refundable. Uh, Let me go and talk about the other one. Refund of unused YQ not permitted. So if there is a partially refund case, then the YQ is not permitted to be refunded. Okay. So these are the simple informations given here. Now let's go and process the refund. How do I start with the processing refund? So first of all, the line is giving you very importantly that whenever there is a non-refundable scenario, the airline base fare is going to be non-refundable. So whatever the base fare that you see in this line, that is completely non-refundable. Is this clear? The second thing, there are certain taxes as per the fare rules also non-refundable, and the remaining taxes are non-refundable. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear? Great. So we have already read all the fare rules. Did you notice any taxes which are non-refundable in the rules mentioned? Have we checked? Mohammed said yes. Okay, tell me where did you read this part that the taxes is non-refundable? I did not. Any original non-refundable amount? Refund of unused YQ not permitted. YQ is non-refundable, but there is a line saying refund of unused YQ not permitted. So unused means Sonali.
Yes, Naveen.
So it is mentioned refund of unused YQ tax not permitted. That means it is related with a partial refund, or is it related with
No,
this?
no, unused, no, no. So unused YQ and unused YR. So because passenger has not traveled or
Okay.
is not traveling on this journey, so that YQ YR is not used, right? So it is
Uh,
non-refundable.
okay. Thank you. So here it is simply saying that the whatever the YR is mentioned, let me go in again. Whatever the YQ is mentioned is not going to be refunded. Okay. And the cost charge shown as YR on the tickets. This is also given here as the line. So now simply let's go and check about, is there any YQ and the YR tax given? So there is a YQ given and there is a YR tax given. So the YQ and the YR is not going to be refunded to the customer. So these two taxes is also not going to be refunded. Clear? So that's the same line is given. Okay. And since based on the YQ and the YR and the complete base fare, the K3 is also not going to be refunded. Yes or no? Because if the entire base fare, entire YQ and YR is going to be non-refundable, then in that condition, the K3 is also not going to be refunded. Yes or no? Make sense? Yes or no? Okay. So how do we process this refund amount? So let's go and cancel it. First of all, we're going to cancel, save it, and then we will use the command trf and the ticket number. Let me copy this ticket number from the above line and paste it here. I open the refund record. Now, what is the next step? Please pay attention. Since the base fare amount is going to be non-refundable, so we will do TRFU slash CP as 100%. TRFU slash CP 100%, which simply means my entire base fare is non-refundable. Let's go and do that. And this is how this gets reflected. Clear? Yes, no? Now, one more line to be very specific here. There are few airlines who told you that in case of non-refundable, they inform you to show the fare, which is the base fare, as used fare. So if airline is specifically telling you to show the base fare as an used fare, then do the same steps. But generally, once the non-refundable ticket, always show the cancellation penalty as 100%. That will be treated as a base fare amount. Is it clear? So it depends on airline's policy to airline's policy. Whatever the airline policy is telling you, you have to follow that part. Next, the next line is to delete all the non-refundable taxes. So how will I delete the non-refundable taxes? Simply go and open the tax panel and delete YQ, YR and the K3. So how will I delete all the first three lines and the fifth line in one go? So the command is trfu slash tx number 1 slash tx number 2 slash tx number 3 slash tx number 5. Is this clear? This is how you will delete all the non-refundable taxes in one go. Let's delete it. Now, did you see all the non-refundable taxes deleted? Back to the refund record. And then if, now here, if RF is applicable, RF needs to be deducted from the highest refundable taxes. So you need to contact the airline and ask, sir, is there any RF applicable? Because since we have already deducted the entire base fare amount, so from where do we deduct the RF amount? So then the RF will be deducted from the highest tax panel, highest taxes paid. So let's take an example, TRFT. Which one is the highest tax? Tell me, as of this refundable tax. The highest one is OI, correct? So if airline says, okay, deduct the RAF from the OI, so you have to reduce it. How will you update it? So then you have to do like this. 300 rupees is just an example of a RAF plus 5% of 300 becomes 315, correct? So you have to reduce 7077 minus 315. this becomes the total 6762. So you have to update the OI as 6762. Is it clear? Yes, no? That's the same line is mentioned here. So here I have mentioned 7077 WY. No, WY, it's OY. And my RAF is going to be reduced as 315. So that's a 5% GST. So how much it become? 6762. 6762. Is this clear? And how will you update this one? TRFU, first of all, delete the tax and then you can add the updated tax. How will you delete? TRFU, TX, and tax number 4 is to be deleted. Now entire tax is deleted. Now you need to add an updated value. And how do I add a tax? With the command TA that is written here and the updated value. How much is the updated value? 6762. 6762 OY. Yes or no? And press enter. This is how you will gets updated. Now, once it is updated, you need to mention a remarks also in the refund record that I have deducted the RAF from the highest tax that has been here given. So let me mention that one. 7077 OY. So I will mention here TRFU slash RM as a remarks command and mention the remarks like RF is deducted from the 7077 OY tax. Is this clear? Enter. This is how it gets reflected as an remarks in the refund record. So that the airline can also read it. Okay, from where have you deducted that RAF charge? Is that clear? And then process with the refund. TRFP. Done? Is this clear? This is how we'll process with the non-refundable scenario. Let me send you the non-refundable scenario in the chat box. Copy it. Done? Quickly note it down. There is one more scenario. Noted? All right. Now let's go and start with the partial refund scenarios. Okay, so everybody, please pay attention. Everybody. Okay. Now, this is a PNR. Now, how do I confirm that the passenger is already used this Delhi Singapore segment? Tell me. How do I confirm? Quickly in the chat. Okay. While looking on the segment as flown, that means it's a flown segment. Or we go and check in the e-ticket image history. Please always go and check the e-ticket image record. And there is a status showing F. This is the where you will confirm that, okay, one of the segment is used by the customer. Is it clear? All right. Once we confirm that the passenger is already used and the return segment is showing O and A, means your PNR is, you can go ahead and process the partial refund. Now the next say, check about the penalty part, and the penalty can be checked in this way: fxx slash the segment number 2 comma segment number 3 slash. Now here we need to mention the date of issuance, 23rd of June 2025. Done. I open the PNR FQN1 star PE. Let's go and read it. How much is the penalty amount? 100 US dollar. So let me type here the 100 US dollar. Done. Now, is there anything apart from the 100 US dollar mentioned? Let's read it. Fees are non-changeable. Wire is non-refundable for all the fares. So let me mention this part as well. Now, is there any other thing you mentioned apart from this? How much is the GST applicable? 5%. So let's go and copy that 5%. Now, anything else? Let me read about it. Any fees? No, there is nothing about the cancellation penalty. Done? We read it about everything. The cancellation penalty. Now, let's go and check about the another information. Now, this is very much important. Remember, since it's a partially refund, we are going to process. Check the rules after departure if applicable. So tell me, is for my scenario, is there any after departure rules mentioned? No. So if there is a after departure rules mentioned for your scenarios, go and check that one. If that is not mentioned, then you do not have to worry about it. Is that clear? Now let's go and mention the cancellation penalty. How much is the cancellation penalty? 100 US dollar. Let me convert 100 US dollar. FQC 100 USD slash INR. This is 8610. Let me mention the penalty amount here. 8610 plus the 300 rupees is the RAF. Let me add all these things. 800 8610 plus 300, which becomes how much? 8900. So let me mention 8910. How much is the 5% of 8910? Let me guess, go and 5% of that. 446. Yes or no? 446. So how much is the total penalty? That is 9355 9356. 9356. Done. Total cancellation penalty. Now we are going to start with the another thing, which is, since one of the leg is used by the passenger, so that fare is not going to be refunded. So we need to reduce the used fare also. And how did I just go and check that how much is the fare used, how much is the tax used by the passenger? With the command fxx slash the segment which has been used slash the r comma and the ticket issuance date, 23rd of June. This is mandatory. Remember that one. And here I got the used fare. Now what I will do, I will open my calculator, and here, for saving the time, what I have done, I have already filled all the details. Now what I have done, see, here I have already mentioned my used fare under the used fare column. How much is the used fare as a base fare amount? See, 26600. Yes or no? How much is the YR tax which is used? 1735. 767 1417 1229. 767 1417 1229. So I have already mentioned the used base fare and the used taxes. Clear? Now let me open the e-ticket record. I have already mentioned the base fare, which is under a ticketed fare. So how much is the base fare refund? Tell me, how much is the base fare refund? 17800. Okay, now let's go and talk about the next YR tax. How much is the ticketed YR tax? Let me open the tax panel. How much? 1735. So is there any tax difference for the YR? No. Let's go and check about IN 1092. So there is a 325 rupees refund. 2307 K3. So there is a 890 rupees. P2 1229. And rest of the taxes is going to be as on complete refundable because these are not used by the passenger. Is it clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? All right. Next, how much is the penalty amount? We have already calculated the penalty amount. How much is the penalty amount? 8910. So let me mention that one, 8910. How much will be the GST? 446. Similar. How much will be the total penalty? 9356. So if I add this one, you will see 9356. Clear? So how much is the total going to refund? 14,054 rupees. Is this clear with everyone? Calculation is clear? Okay. Now let's come to the scenarios here. So we have already calculated the flown segment fare and we have checked about the ticketed fare and the calculated fare. But then there is another conditions. In case of the outbound segment is not reflecting, what you will do? You will add the GK segment that we have already learned in the previous example. Yes or no? याद है ना आप लोग को जब हम पार्शियल रीइश्योरेंस कर रहे थे तो हम कैसे जीके सेगमेंट ऐड करते हैं घोस्ट सेगमेंट and from there we will calculate the one way used fare. Okay, is this clear with everyone? Great. Now the next thing, we will have to go and cancel the itinerary and process the refund. How will I process and cancel? Let's go and do XE and I'm going to cancel the segment number 3. Let me cancel it. Let me save it. And then I'm going to process TRF slash the ticket line number 5. Refund record gets opened. Now the step number 1. Here, since there is a used base fare, so we will first of all update the used base fare. How will I update the used base fare? TRFU slash U as an used base fare. How much is the used base fare? Tell me. How much is the used base fare? 26600. So let's mention 26600. Enter. This is how the base used base fare gets updated. Yes, no? Next, add the cancellation penalty. How will I add the cancellation penalty? TRFU slash CP. And how much is the total cancellation penalty? 9356. Yes, no? So let me mention 9356A amount. This will add the cancellation penalty. Added. Now let's go and talk about the refundable and the non-refundable taxes to be updated. How will I do so? So what I will do, I will simply open the tax panel and I will first of all delete all the taxes. So let me delete all the taxes. TRF, TRFU slash TX1-7. So that will delete all the taxes. Done? Yes or no? Now we are going to start adding those only taxes which are as a refundable. So how will I add this taxes? TRFU slash TA. Now let me open this. How much is the IN tax as in refundable? 325. So let me type 325 IN TA. How much is the K3 tax refundable? 890 K3 TA. How much is the L7 refundable? 728 L7. Yes or no? So this is how you will update everything. TRFU slash TA. Now, how much is the other OP as in 539? 539 OP slash TA. 3127. And how, what is that? Two-letter tax code SG. Understood? Is this clear? Done. Updated. And then cross-check everything. TRF. Now let's check, is this refund amount which is coming as an 1403 and is the calculation that we have done, is that correct? I believe there is 1 rupee we have deducted some in the one of the taxes. Okay. Is this clear? That's why there is a one. Yes, you can update in one go. I updated all the taxes in one go. And if you wanted to update all the commands in one go, then you might get confused also. So please go with one by one. The steps, the cancellation penalty and tax. Uh, that can be possibly done. But again, Sonali, is this possible to just update the penalty and the taxes in one go?
No,
Because,
you will
no,
have
it's
to do
not
it
possible.
separately only, Yandeep.
Okay. And then you simply have to process this TRFP. Done. And your refund gets processed with a SAC number. Is this clear? Now, if you wanted to display the refund again, so you can simply type TRF. Now, somebody wanted to see about the here. One second. That's a one command that has to be shown. Now, my refund has been already processed. Now, I wanted to display that how did I calculated my refund. So that I will type a command trf slash I hyphen 01. And this will open my again refund record. I can cross verify that how much is the fare that I have used in this, how much I have added, how much was the taxes refund. Everything can be checked, cross checked. Clear? Yes, no? So this is how I have mentioned this command. Now you can, I'm sending you this in your chat box. Copy the scenarios as a partial refund. Is it done? Noted. All right. Now there are two topics left, there is one topic left over, and that is related with a sales report. Now, since Monday to Thursday, we are issuing so many tickets. We have issued so many tickets. The way you are also going to do in your organization. So how will you find out your sales report? So if you wanted to find out your sales report on a daily basis, so you can type a simple command TJQ, press enter. That will display you the sales report for this agency ITA number for today's date for my agent, for my username. Is it clear? This much is the ticket that I have issued, refunded, or whatever that things I have done. How did I get know how many tickets has been issued or cancelled or refunded? With the help of a transaction number. Look, TKT stands as in ticketed, EMD stands as an EMD issued, RFND stands as an refunded. Clear? Now, on the left hand side, there is a sequence number given. So these are the sequence number, based on that sequence number I have issued. 148, 149, that means a sequential, I have issued the ticket number and processed the refund. Then this is the airline numbers, that's on ticket numbers. And beside that, this is a document number, that means the ticket number. Total document cost, the total taxes which has been here, and how much is the OB fees, that means the credit card fees applicable. How much will be the commission applicable? Did you see this one? What was the form of payment that we have updated? And what is the name of the passengers those has been done? And what is the agent sign in? So the NM is my agent sign in. These are the record locators. That means the PNR number. Is this clear? Now, the moment you do TJQ, this will show you only for today's report. But I wanted to see my report for yesterday also. Then I will have to do TJQ slash D hyphen, and the yesterday's was 25th of June. So this is how you can only see the yesterday's report. Is it clear? Similarly, if you wanted to find out the report for a specific period of time, so how will I do so? Type the same command, and if I wanted to find out the report for from the month of 1st April till 26th of June, let's press enter. The moment I type, I will be able to see my sales report. But if I increase the date, let me change it to March, and then you will see the error comes. The date range cannot be greater than 90 days. That means if you want to find out the sales report for more than 90 days, it is to find out. And you can be able to download it. For airlines report, do this HETZQ. There are so many commands given. With the help of these further more commands, you'll be able to find out the report for the airline specific. See, is this clear? Abdul? Next, someone who is working as a supervisor in this organization, and they wanted to find out the sales report for the entire person who all are working for under this office ID. How will they find out? The command is TJQ slash SOF, which is I have already given here, to display all the agents within the office. And this will show me for today, these all agents, they all are having issuing those tickets. They have performed the refund, they have done the ticketing. All of this thing can be checked here. Okay. Is it clear? But remember, the SOF command will only be performed once you have a SU duty code. Remember at the time of sign in, there was a duty code mentioned. You have to select the SU duty code. Then only you will be able to get the sales report for all the agents. Okay. Is this clear? One last minute. If you want, because the sales report you are getting as a notepad, what you have to do, आपको ये पूरा copy करना होगा and then you have to paste in your notepad. Okay, but if you wanted to download the sales report in Excel file, that can be done from the main page. Come to the main page, click on this tool section. Do you see there is a sales report and there is a query report? Click on this query report and you will be able to see different options available based on those options. Like अगर आपको किसी एक agent का sign in के accordingly sales report निकालना है, mention the sign in and click on the display sales report. Okay, is this clear? And then you will be able to see all the sales report here. Now, if you wanted to download it to the Excel, do you see there is an Excel file option given? Click on Excel or export to the Excel. You will see there is an Excel file upload exported. That will help you to get it on a very single page. आपको सब कुछ details मिलती रहेंगी यहाँ पे. ठीक है? Is this clear? Now I have done with the topic. Now, anyone have any other question? No question? Okay, now let's end the session. Before going to end the session, two things to be done, please. Once, the number one, since we are discussing, we are joining from Monday to Thursday. So, based on this, there will be a poll round to be done, and the poll will be asked with the questions. जो भी हमने topics सीखे हैं ना, based on that topics, there will be a questions asked. You have to just rate it accordingly. So, पहले मैं poll round आप लेके launch कर रहा हूँ. Please do participate in the poll. Is that clear? So let me launch the poll. The poll will be displayed on your screen. I hope all of you have seen the poll on your screen. Yes, no? Please do participate in the poll round. There are 10 questions. And the 10th question is again asking you to rate on the scale of 1 to 10. So close to 10 will be the satisfactory and the excellent ratings. So please rate it accordingly. Everybody has to participate. Please do participate in the poll round. And those who have participated in the poll, they can leave the session. And uh, again, once I end the session, they will also receive a feedback survey on their browser. Please do participate in the feedback survey live from the last 3 days, what you are participating, how you are participating, how you are providing the